What's up, America? Neil from Geauga Firearms Academy here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about establishing a proper grip, especially with a semi-automatic pistol. So let's begin. There's a couple fundamentals here that we want to talk about. First and foremost, when we're talking about a pistol, all the force is going to be coming down this axis. So if we think of it from a mechanical standpoint, if I hold really low on the pistol, it doesn't take very much pressure for this gun to flip up, to have muzzle rise. Now, contrastly, if I could hold the gun like this, that would be ideal, because I'd have all that force coming straight back. But of course, we can't shoot that way. So the first thing we need to remember is that we want to get as high up on the pistol as we possibly can to gain as much leverage to have the best control. So, we have a nice beaver tail here, so I want to take the web of my hand and get it as high up on there as I possibly can. Regardless whether you're right or left-handed, makes no difference. Same rules will apply. The second thing that we're going to be talking about when establishing the grip is covering as much surface space on the pistol as we possibly can. So those are the two things. As high up as possible and cover as much surface space. So number one, taking the web of my hand and getting high up on the pistol as I can. I'm then going to take my other fingers and wrap them down right underneath that trigger guard. With a lot of firearms, and this Springfield is no exception, you'll see there's some media taken out right here. And they do that to allow the shooter to get up as high as possible. So again, nice and high up here, nice and high in the back. So we have established a nice high grip, no space, and no space. Okay, so now that we've established this right-hand grip, where a lot of people go wrong is the manufacturer actually builds in a little ledge there, so it would make sense that that's where our thumb would rest. The problem is in the second step of covering as much surface space as we can. Because our thumb is there, when I go and put my left hand over, I want you to take a note of this area of the grip. As you can see here, there's an obvious gap right in this area. Because my thumb is in the way, and therefore I can't get that area covered. So here's the simple answer. We're going to take this thumb and put it upward. Now that we have this up, we have all this area here. So I'm going to use the meaty part of my left hand, and I'm simply going to fill in that space. Now, there's a couple schools of thought. One is we can put our hand out there at 45, our hand, the level with our other hand, turn it to 45 and fill the space. The other is that we can come up under the trigger guard and fill the space. Either way, it doesn't make any difference. The important thing to note is that once I've established this nice grip, you'll notice there is no longer a gap there. I actually have a good coverage on the firearm. So I've accomplished both things. I've gotten my hand as high up on the pistol as possible, and I've covered as much surface space as possible. Now there's no need to worry about the slide. There's another video I have in my channel where I actually show you stopping the slide with my hand as it's being fired to kind of dispel some of the fears of that. So we don't have to worry about that. Plus, we're not going to be able to put much pressure there anyway. All the force is going to be in the front and the back of the grip, the front strap and the back strap. My left hand is going to come in like a vise, and I'm going to hold the pistol tightly. Now, there's much to do out there about 60-40, 70-30, all these silly numbers. Who can really measure what 60% of your grip is or 40%? So the simple answer is we're going to grip this pistol 100-100. We're going to hold this pistol tightly. This way we have maximum control, and we're able to stay on target. After we've taken our shot, we're able to get back on target. The whole philosophy here is the fundamental of shooting is hold control and to keep this on target. The less movement that we have, the more accurate our shots will be. One other important thing when we're talking about establishing a grip, and this applies to CCW or self-defense, when we go to take our grip, when we take our firearm, we want to establish a grip from the holster. In reality, if we have to defend ourselves, there's not going to be any time for us to make all these adjustments before we take our shot. So it's very, very important, and we'll make additional videos on how to do this properly. But it's very, very important that from the moment I go and put my hand on that weapon, that I'm already establishing that high grip. So that when I come out clear, I can establish my grips and control the weapon immediately from the moment the gun is removed from the holster. We still want to get those two fundamentals of being as high up as we can and covering as much surface space as possible. Alright guys, well that was it on grip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. If you like the channel and what you've seen, please go ahead and subscribe. And remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.